everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Eve. This is Everyday Artist, and this little girl here is Rogue, and she's being a dog. Yes. She wanted to come and film, but she wanted to be on the other side, and that's where my stitching is, so. I am going to talk about stitching today, and okay. I'm going to talk about my stitching today, but also some stuff that happened last week. So last week on Wednesday was my birthday, and my hair is bothering me. My son's girlfriend, we had talked about it, I guess maybe New Year's, Christmas, somewhere around there. And she got me a session for herself and I at Painting with a Twist. If you don't know what that is, you pick a picture that you want, a painting that you want to do, and it's like an art class, lasts 2 hours, and they supply all the paint and canvases, brushes, everything, and the teacher. And I had always wanted to try it, and they have blacklight sessions, and the paintings, are supposed to be different in blacklight kind of thing. And I was really excited about it. So that was Saturday that we did this. We also went to go see Inside Out 2 on Saturday morning. I was disappointed. I mean, it was fine, but I really liked the first one. I was anticipating really enjoying the second one, and it was okay. It wasn't as fun as I thought it would be, but it was fun to go to the movie. I haven't been to the movies really in a while. So we went to do this painting, and I've painted with glow-in-the-dark paints before. I never turned off the lights to paint with them. And what they did was they turned off all the overhead lights, and there was overhead black lights after a certain point. But you still needed to use white, which you really couldn't see because it wasn't fluorescent. It didn't show up. It just looked a little bit purple. Sorry. Because, the black lights are purple. Isn't that weird? Black lights are purple. So there were 4 neon colors that, looked different in black light. And there was a yellow, orange, red, and what she called purple, right? And I was like, where's purple? She's right there between the black and the red. And I'm like, and I even said this, I said, oh honey, that's not purple. It was pink. It was like it wasn't even a purpley pink. It was a pretty color, but it wasn't purple. I'm sorry, the color name just escaped me. Anyway, this is the painting that we did. The paintbrush wasn't skinny enough to put my name. And I am not at all happy with my painting. I am more happy with it now than I was then. But since I couldn't see the white, I didn't get my flowers all the way up over the white. But then I thought, that looks kind of cool. But then there's this spot here, because she told us to only do this to a certain point, and I couldn't tell that that was nothing. So I have an unpainted spot on my canvas. And yet, the evening was so fun. This doesn't look very much. It looks somewhat like the picture that was chosen. And somebody said something about that to her, and she goes, we would have to be here a lot longer than 2 hours, and you'd have to have a different instructor in order to do that painting. Which is fine, kind of. So nobody's painting is going to look exactly the same. It's just not. It was one of the things I was telling her. She goes, mine looks, I don't like it. And I'm like, it's fine, because everybody's painting is different. Nobody's is going to be exactly like the teachers, and the teachers certainly wasn't anywhere close to the display picture. And I think it would have been possible to get closer to what was in the painting if certain things were done in a different order. Does that make sense? For instance, a great deal of the classroom was taken painting our white canvases black, waiting for the paint to dry, or going to a blow dryer to dry it so that it would be dry for the next step. Okay. Now, acrylic paint dries very fast, but it doesn't dry instantly. Because we wanted to put white on top of that, she didn't want it to be wet because we would end up with gray. Also, she's a very good artist, but we happen to be on the back side of her, you know. So she's turning and painting like this, and we're on this side of her. And we couldn't see what she was doing. While she was talking about it, she didn't get out of the way enough for us to really see what she was doing. And maybe having taught art so long, I'm just like, you need to let people see what you're doing. Yes, you have to get in front of the canvas, you know, to do it right. But so I'm like, and she's going, what did she say? What is she doing? I'm like, I don't know. She's blocking the canvas. And then by the time she stepped out of the way, she was about to go on to the next thing, and we're trying to hurry up and do it. But so I was kind of frustrated, you know, but then after I got home, I looked at the canvas and I was like, I really like it. It's pretty. And I had such a good time. So, you know, was I perfectly happy and excited about the experience? No. But I think I want to go back and do a painting that is not blacklight painting, because it was very frustrating to paint in the dark when you're painting with colors that are not neon. I think turning the black lights on so we could see the neon color, because everybody was like, ooh, you know. I think if they turned it on for a while and then turned it back on, turned the lights back on so we could see what we were doing more, it might have been easier, I think. But I think also they do it that way because of the wow factor. You know, people are not used to painting under black light. I'm not used to painting under black light. And I had a good time. I just, you know, one of the people that was floating around, she was taking pictures of various paintings, and she's like, so do you paint? She goes, because it's really good. And I'm like, no, it's not. But no, and nobody's ever happy with their art. Nobody. You don't paint something and go, oh, that's fantastic. So, okay, on to stitching. Did I do a lot of stitching? No. Did I do as much as I could? Maybe. My son would get very frustrated with me if he saw me sitting and stitching, because he felt like I should be cleaning and picking up stuff and moving stuff and boxing stuff and all that. And I'm like, everything hurts. I am going to sit here and do this for right now until I'm not, because I'm continually doing that. But I got to sit down and rest for a while, and then I can get up and do more, you know. But so I didn't get to sit and stitch for as long as I wanted. Also, I think I need to replace a great deal of my needles, and I bought more needles. I don't know where they are. I might have to suffer with the needles I have, but I think not. Definitely one of them I'm gonna have to throw away. Okay, so let's start with the cross-stitch camp piece I was working on, which is in this stack somewhere. Here we are. So, Little Berry Thief, Scattered Seed Samplers, Little Birdie. Now, the pictures on this berry, you actually see the entire thing. I mean, even with this picture, most of the painting, I mean, most of the pattern is seen here. Very little of it goes back on the back, as you can see. Just little, you know, spots. But and I like the fact that the photography shows you more of the berry. I am not as far along as I would hope, but I am almost done with the little planter that he's sitting in. And I'm so sick of working with this black color. But all of these that are out here, some of them are going to be easier to count later because I'll have the plants. And so I think I'll just do the plants next and then do the black 1, 2, 3. It's not black. It's a very, very dark blue, but it looks black, doesn't it? Because in the picture, it's blue. And I did something with the eye to make it look more like the eye in the pattern, because I'm using Aida and they're using 30. I'm using 18 count Aida and they're using 36 count linen. Anyway, I'm happy with the way it's looking. I am unhappy with my progress. That's one of the needles I need to exchange for a different needle, mostly because it's too big for that fabric. So my first Whip-Go call for this month was Robin by Cute Patterns by Maria. Maria Bravco, and he is adorable. And I would have gotten more done on him, but I had to keep looking for threads. I know I have all the threads, and I thought I had pulled them all. Apparently not. So this is where I am. I stitched this beak twice because I put it in the wrong spot. And then all of this here there's some more of it that goes down here. It's a blended thread, kind of a brown and an orange together, okay? It's a blended thread. And I finished stitching it, and then I was going to switch to a different blended thread. Most of the rest of it that I have to do are blended threads. I looked at it and went, that's the wrong color. I got the wrong darker color. It was not quite dark enough. And I'm going to have to use the other version other places, so I needed to change it. But he's coming along. You know, there's no rush, no hurry. I started him last summer for the June cross-stitch camp. So he hasn't been sitting around as long as some of my other stuff has. And then the second whip go call for August is When Witches Go Riding. This is Tiny Modernist, and it was a start along that started in July 2 years ago. I am approximately 2/3 done. Now, I have to outline all my white stuff because this, I thought it was dark enough. I dyed this myself. It was like I used like a denim blue kind of, and then I tea dyed it, coffee dyed it. I don't know. It just didn't come out dark enough. I didn't leave it in there long enough. And this needle has got to go. It's got like a burr on one end, and it makes it really hard to stitch. So the third section that was put out, I think, was this part right here, if I remember correctly. And I am almost there. I don't remember hurting myself. It's very fresh. Maybe it was the dog's claws. I don't know. Anyway. But I just started on it. I only did one day so far, and it wasn't even a whole day because by the time I finished with moving stuff and all of that, I was just done. I didn't want to do anything. But I wanted to try to get a little bit done, right? That doesn't even hurt. It's bleeding. I gotta make sure I don't get it on my stitching. Okay, and then I did a little bit more work on Sapphire Mountain Handcrafts 2023 temperature salve, and I'm working on this bottom part. So I did a little bit more. It's almost done. Every time I work on it, I'm like, oh, but I have to go on to the other one. I only work on it on Fridays. That's when I do my other temperature salve. So this is Stitchin' Mommy's Temperature Turtles. We are now in August. Yeah. My turtles don't look anything like these turtles. I haven't put in the body, arms and legs, whatever, on this one. as you can see, it's been warm this summer. My phone tells me temperatures tomorrow morning will be well above normal. Yeah. But there's also the humidity. It has been very humid. Speaking of which, it poured. Saturday night. Saturday night? Yeah. Saturday night. It poured and poured. And where my son was working, the lightning hit a house, and from what my understanding is, the house is a total loss. It's so sad. But he was upset because he had to stand out in the rain because they couldn't even sit in their cars to, make sure that everything's safe and people aren't coming in close to the house and stuff. There were 4 of them. He said we huddled around a little tree. And I'm like, you huddled around a tree in the lightning? Not good. But, they were trying to not get rain, and I thought, you're already wet. It's only uncomfortable until you're completely wet. They were probably cold too, but huddling under a tree wasn't going to help with that. And then, lastly, I went to Owl Forest Embroidery's website to see if I could see the free sal that they were doing with the mushrooms. And I saw it, but it's not done yet, and I don't want to download it until it's done, because I do start-alongs, I don't do stitch-alongs, so. But I saw this. It's called Cranes. Isn't it beautiful? So, near my sister's house, if you drive. Near my sister's house, if you drive a little distance away, it goes through a neighborhood that has a lake. And there are cranes there. They're so beautiful. I can't possibly start it now. I don't know when I can start it. But I was just like, I have to have that pattern. So I downloaded it. It was a free pattern. So is the mushroom one. And I really, really like that mushroom one. So I'll probably wait until it's done and download that too. I wish I could afford to get the kits and all that, the threads and the fabrics. This is 32 count Murano Cabre, and I think the one that they had for a while at Hobby Lobby is not gonna be, wouldn't be big enough anyway. So yeah. Anyway, I'll find a piece big enough of something and I'll do it on that. So, I'm bothering my dog. Okay, so that is all I have. I think things are going to get busy for me. Sorry. I think things are going to get busy for me. So I'm going to have to really look at how I schedule things. Like today, I had an appointment this morning, so I could have, I guess, gotten up and done this earlier. But my son has been using my tripod, and I wasn't going to wake him up. So to take the camera that he's taking pictures of the house with. Yeah. So anyway, hope you guys are having a great summer. I hope your August is cooler than ours. And happy stitching.